Hello class. In reference to this video response, I decided to cover an incident that occurred within the city of Springfield, Missouri on June 6th, 2020. On June 6th, approximately 2,500 people of different race, ethnicity, and cultures came together in reference to demonstrating their ideas and beliefs on how people of all races should be treated equally. This event occurred at the heavily populated area known as Park Central Square, located in downtown Springfield. At that time, many Americans throughout the nation were in active protest in regards to the death of George Floyd. Many Americans believed the killing of Mr. George Floyd was racially motivated and systemic racism was to blame. Furthermore, they believed that the police that handled the incident should be held accountable for their actions in regards to his killings. As local news media spoke with people at Park Central Square, one of the reporters was employed with Ozarks First. The reporter spoke with Tony Robertson, who is the president of the NAACP. When asked about the event, Robertson stated the following: "What you are about to see wasn't our first sit down with them, but it was the one that revealed so much about what they call our baked-in biases. Tired of talking, my generation isn't as patient," Robertson stated. "It's time for the city to have a wake-up call." Furthermore, she stated, "I think the black community is really purged right now, with a lot of grief and anger, and that's very much valid. And I feel like that's kind of where I am, personally, and I have expressed that to the chief, as well as other community leaders." Robertson was referring to the Springfield Police Chief, Paul Williams, the city mayor, the city manager, as well as the city council. Robertson stated the NAACP will be addressing issues and concerns within the Springfield Police Department, such as demanding changes in the Springfield's standard operating procedures, where subjects are detained, traffic stops with people of color, and how the Internal Affairs Division investigates their own officers. Robertson's concerns led the news station to have a sit-down with community members where they were able to listen to each other and discuss Robertson's and the NAACP's demands within the local community. The following is going to be the responses of individuals within the community addressing Robertson's and the NAACP's demands. When Ozarks First spoke with Springfield Police Chief, he stated the Springfield Police Department has a civilian review board, which was created in 1999 by the City Council. The purpose of this board is to appeal the chief's decision if needed when addressing complaints about officers within the city. The board is composed of 5 community members that review the chief's decision and present their findings to the City Council and City Manager for approval, thus addressing the IA, also known as Internal Affairs, dispute brought up by the NAACP. The chief acknowledged it is critical for citizens to come together and voice their concerns and beliefs despite the motives, as long as the process is conducted within a lawful manner. In regards to the detention or temporarily detaining a subject, he referred to case law, which states you can only detain a person for a reasonable period. Ozarks First later spoke with Dr. Garcia, who is employed with the Springfield School District. When speaking with Dr. Garcia, she stated the following in response to the NAACP's demands: "These community members say you don't have to look only at the streets to see inequality. We see systematic racism in education when it comes to how we are teaching the history to our students. What our students are learning, who did they see at the forefront of history, and who do they see being left out?" She stated systemic racism is a concern that needs to be addressed in all avenues of the American way of life. After speaking with Dr. Garcia, Ozarks First spoke with the city manager. His replies to the NAACP's response and questioning was the following. If you're not black or brown, recognizing systemic racism can be murky. We all have something to learn. If we can't develop that perspective to understand why these things are a concern to those that are affected, we will never be in a position to properly judge them and really be able to work with them. After speaking with the city manager, Ozarks first spoke with Dr. Leslie Anderson, a professor at the Missouri State University. In regards to responding to the NACCP response, Dr. Leslie Anderson stated the following. Sometimes when confronted with the reality of our society and the disputes that exist, just by numbers, by data, that some people get overwhelmed and can overcome with white guilt, or what she noted as the notation of white guilt, and will cry, and the attention becomes on them. Further, she stated, we have to be humble and receptive to what someone else's experiences might be. White people can get defensive or sometimes not want to talk about it or change the subject. In closing, she stated, we all have to agree. The time for action is now. After speaking with Dr. Anderson, Ozarks first spoke with Dr. Foster, who is employed with the Missouri State University. Her response was, a very critical point in our history where people are saying we've waited long enough. When we really want to see substantial action and we really want to see some historical things begin to change dramatically for the betterment of our country. Further, he stated, the manner in which people decide to protect themselves can be very different. While some hold signs and shout, others may lie down among the street or on the street corner in quiet protest, and both are very effective. Essentially, you do you, and it can send a message to the public and city officials that things need to happen. This video discusses the importance behind forming a group and addressing ideas and concerns about the community, group members, and all people representing a particular area. It's important to have insight and formulate change in regards to the betterment of society, whether that is on a local scale or a national scale. Thank you.